get on to y'all about the Black History deal. So I don't know when you was gonna do the question, but we're gonna do it now. Okay. And I'm gonna wrap this for you.
You're gonna be here
the one time in history that Black folks got what they wanted the most, they emancipation, was when the threat of the country was on the line.
Right.
Abraham Lincoln says, if I can keep this country together and free not one slave, I'll do that. And if I have to free them all to save the country, I'll do that. Yes, y'all don't understand this. The reason that the Emancipation Proclamation happened in 1863 is because Robert E. Lee was kicking the North's tail.
Oh, yeah.
And Abraham Lincoln needed to turn the tide. And so he did the Emancipation Proclamation to get Black soldiers on our side, on the North side. Why am I saying that? Interest, that's exactly right.
Right.
The only time Black folks get something from white folks historically is when the white folks have a interest in providing that. Now, I told you about the facts. It was 1865, you all, when the Civil War ended. The Emancipation Proclamation was 2 years before. Once he said that, them Black soldiers got in there, and it was a wrap.
Yeah,
a year and a half later, right?
It was over.
And so, in April of 1865, the Civil War ended. 3 months later, the folks in Texas heard about it. That is June 19th, 1865. Now, the reason some of y'all got the year 66 in your head is not because you're wrong. Because 1 year later, Oklahoma Blacks, those the freedmen, them the tribes folks, there was a treaty. There was a series of treaties. The Chickasaw in April of 1866. The Creeks, June 14th of 1866. And then the Cherokees, June 19th of 1866, a full year after those Blacks in Texas finally got their freedom. Okay. I wanted to do that for y'all because a lot of times we got folks running this city who don't know nothing about real policy and don't know nothing about real history. Right. They just got positions. Right. And they using that to do what they want to do with it. Just because my skin is dark does not mean that my intellect is less than yours. In fact, I have probably studied your system inside and out better than you. And I think that mentality is the same one that Franchelle Abdallah has. I don't care if she hasn't done 40 and $50 million developments. I understand her potential. Yes. The community understood her potential. Yeah. And that's why they said we believe in her. That's why they need to be bending over backwards. That same thing that is in our blood allows for 109-year-old Viola Fletcher to be writing books to this day. Quit playing with us. Excited about that. So, JB, what you got?
Drop it.
That's the sound of the police.
And now it's time for the police report. The police report on news you can use with TPD officer and Lieutenant DeLorean Sanders.
You know what, Damali? I will put that drop up against anybody's drop. Anywhere in the world. Come up against Sanders' drop and let them go head to head.
They ain't going to be able to do it.
Officer Sanders, since we seen you last, I have to say happy Thanksgiving.
Right.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah, get it out.
Yeah, same to you.
Yeah. And you know what? Sanders look like he got a little good, cool look going on.
I know, right?
He look a little slimmer. You know what I mean? Like he been,
I'm working on it.
Yeah, he been drinking
Your New
water.
Year's resolution.
He look hydrated.
Yes.
His knuckles not ashy. You know,
your vest not looking as tight as you usually.
I know. He seems like he been doing. Hey, y'all make sure when y'all see him, y'all check him out. Take a look. If you see him out on the street, see what you think about it. But as far as in KBOB, we see what's going on for 2023.
Yeah, I'm like an old police. I'm wearing suspenders under my vest. I need to know what diet you on.
Yeah, looking good. I thought I seen him pop some when he came in. I don't know what that was. The suspenders. Okay. Hey, I got to do a quick shout out because we got about 300 and some secret listeners, but that's normal. Thank y'all from all around the world for tuning in with us with some quick shout outs. Jeremiah Blackwell. He said about Queen Elizabeth. Tuning in from Mississippi. Welcome to the show. My cousin Brenda, she's in the building. My nephew Jonathan Cole down there in H-Town is in.
Hey.
Mama's in the building.
Hey, Mama.
Love your mom. Teresa, my sister, your sister said, hey, y'all, she's in the building.
Yes.
And we got many, many more. We got to get back that tour. We're just going to try to catch up a little bit.
Yes.
Because it is the police report.
Yes.
And we are honored because we've now had the police report. Is this year number... It's been a year, about a year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah, almost 2
year and a half. Man, Sanders, how you feel? You've been rolling with us for like a year and a half, going on 2 years.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling good. Y'all made me step out my box. I never thought I'd be talking on the radio. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. And he gets better and better.
Yeah.
Because you can tell it's a whole different comfort level.
Yeah.
He's chilling.
Yeah.
Hands all relaxed. You got a notepad.
Yeah, what's up? What we doing?
Yeah. But I tell you what, you've been a tremendous blessing to the community by coming in. Yeah. And I think it's helped because now you have a platform. So even though when things happen, the police report going to be the first Wednesday, and I can get on there and I can ask Lieutenant Sanders and news you can use and KBOB what is going on these streets.
Yeah, and I think it makes a difference because now, a lot of times community feels like police officers are unapproachable. Yeah. The only time that we see you is when something crazy is going on or something crazy is happening. But to be able to have this platform to be able to say, oh, you know what, I'll just wait, because he's going to be on there and we can talk about it, you know. So I think it's a blessing, and that's what it's all about, is building that relationship with communities.
And we got to give you your flowers because here's the thing. We talk about community policing all over the United States of America. And I still say Lieutenant Sanders is the epitome of community policing because we have a youth and family fund center. We mentioned it, EDUREC. For 10 years, Sanders been in partnership with us. We had 36th Street North Event Center, 7 years, Officer Sanders right there. Food distribution during the pandemic, Lieutenant Sanders right there. So no matter what's been going on, and I think that we have been able to have success with no issues, no major issues this whole entire time because all Damali said, I'm going to call my brother Lieutenant Sanders.
I showed you. I'll say in a minute. Our name drop in a minute.
He right over there parked that. What's the name of that church over there parking lot? Go get him at Greater Union. He right up. But Senator, so that's our perspective. Yeah. Man, 2022 could be different from you because we at home at night, sleep with our family. We just regular citizens. But how does the TPD? How do y'all feel about how 2022 went for you guys?
2022 pretty busy for us. A lot of changes. A lot of things happen. That in the community, we have some officers, that got us a little trouble and things like that. And then, we did have a pretty high rate of violent crimes. Yes. And so we're going to work on that too. So we happy to get into 2023, see if we can make some changes.
So I actually pulled, this is from the niche.com and it's talking about, so really this site is, just about places to live and, so how they go through and do crime and, median income and all that stuff. So niche.com, if you guys want to go there and check it out. So they have a section there that's places to live, Tulsa, Oklahoma, crime and safety is where I pulled this from. And y'all, Tulsa, we got to do better. It ain't all on TPD, it's on us as well. But I pulled this. So violent crime statistics calculated annually per 100,000 residents. Okay. It says assaults in Tulsa, 853.2. The national average is 282.
Wait a minute now. Y'all get y'all pen and pad out because that number right there just threw me off.
Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy. So you said in Tulsa.
In Tulsa.
Where we live. The assaults are 853.2.
Yes.
And the national average, that's the whole United States, is what?
282.7. So
we like 300% more.
Yeah.
Or higher.
That's like 3 a day.
Well, I understand where you're coming from on that, but you can also look at it like this too. Most of our assaults, especially like our homicides, stuff, we got a high rate of solving our crime, and which is good. We shouldn't have that many like that, but we got a high rate of solving our crime because most of the time, I tell people this all the time, most of the time when we have crimes like that, like shootings and assaults like that, the person know who did it. And other people know who did. Most of the time, we don't have them like stranger. Somebody shoot somebody that don't, every once in a while, but the majority of the time, the person that's getting violated know the other person.
But let's do that. You went to what site did you go to?
Niche.com.
So all you listening in, go to
CHE.com/places to live /Tulsa, Oklahoma /crime and safety.
So they can put in their city where they live. They can get the same information because you want to know how things are going around the community in which you live, And
so this is their perspective,
right?
So some of the numbers could be a little bit different, but just like Lieutenant Sanders just said, we had a high rate of crime last year, so just want to kind of put it into perspective,
right?
What they're saying is, as far as murders, and again, this is annually per 100,000 residents. Okay, the national average is 6.1. Okay.
Man,
we had Tulsa 14.6
per 100,000 people.
That's
a lot.
That's a lot. That's high. What would we? And the beauty of KBOB and telling our story our own way is we get a chance to have a dialogue like this, and people can sit at the table with us. So, and you get a residence or a person like us perspective and an officer perspective, and then somewhere in the middle, we got what we're doing together because this is the beginning of the year.
Absolutely. And we want to do better.
And we want to try to do better. We want it to be better. I'm sure the police officers want it to be better. So it's all a good thing.
So when we talk about statistics like this, I mean, what are some of the things? Because like I said, some of this stuff we can't blame on TPD, or we can't, I mean, it's us, citizens, meaning when I say us, I mean citizens. We're out here doing something, these things and creating this drama that you guys have to handle. What are some of the things that you think, and of course I know that it's perspective, but what are some of the things that you think we can do as citizens to kind of kill some of this?
Well, a lot of our crimes is through domestic violence. Some people, when you're dealing with domestic violence, you need to get help. And even the lady the person that's being victimized, they need to know when they need to leave, know when they need to get help. And there's a lot of organizations out here that can help women with domestic violence,
sure,
even men, but you got to reach out, and and you have to report it, and because you know when it's getting bad, when it's getting worse, and you have to report it so we can help do something about it. And a lot of things too. Also, we got our young people and older people too, with this open carry. And people don't know how to control their anger, think they can pull their gun out for any reason,
right?
And that's not the case, and I think that's some things we need to learn, is that just because you can carry a gun, you can't pull it out and shoot everybody.
Speaking of guns, what about gang violence? I mean, Tulsa is known for its gang culture. Let's not forget, domestic violence is one thing, but gang violence is huge here. We got gang task force. We got a gun task force out. We got all these things going on. But for gang violence, again, y'all heard me say this before. Our gangbangers here, they don't openly wear their colors and stuff like that. You got to really figure out if it's gang violence now, because our guys that's in gangs, they're not just gonna have on red and have on baby blue, whatever.
Right.
You got to really know the players. And we got some good officers. I got some officers in my squad who know the players. And I know a few of them myself. I know some of the old players, but some of the young ones. But we got a good gang task force. We got a good gun crime unit. We also have a system. When people just shoot their guns, may nobody get hit, but we recover all the cases, all the rounds, and we got a way of tracing. I can pick up a case and I can send it down to our gun lab.
You can trace it back to the gun owner.
We can trace it back to the gun owner. We can trace it back to two other shootings.
Oh,
2 or 3 other shootings. If that's the same gun been involved in other shootings, that gun been involved in this shooting, and the gun been last month it was involved in this other shooting.
Do you think Tulsa should have the spot shotters? Shot spotters? Is that what they call it?
What about sharpshooters?
No, shot spotters. In the big cities, they have these microphones and cameras on corners.
Oh yeah.
We got that already.
We already got that.
We got that.
Do they have that?
We have We had that. Yeah. We had it. We have a few on the north side.
They had the big.
And we have some out south.
Right.
Oh yeah. We can also track a car. If they do a robbery out south, And we get enough information. We say, well, now the car is on such and such street.
Yeah.
And you know, so we got all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. We remember we talked about that. That was the big debate. That was the big thing that was going on a few months back. People was like, man, is that too intrusive to be having cameras up? And are they only in North Tulsa trying to catch us?
Sure.
What happened is, I know what happened. I know what really happened. The people in them Cadillacs that's creeping at night. You ain't finna catch me over the Lucy house. So they wasn't even about the crime. It was about the time. The creeping that went down a whole lot. There's cameras everywhere. You don't know. I can tell you now, I'll be happy at the event center because it's like that people don't know what's, and you know, the crime, you know, so much crazy stuff going on. And when you own facilities and people knocking out your windows and trying to vandalize your stuff, then you always welcome anything that can be some odds and ends while you at home.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So that's good. You know, we're going to take a quick break. Lieutenant Sanders, do you have any New Year's resolutions that you're trying to stick to this year thus far?
Yeah, just keep on trying to lose weight.
Keep trying to lose weight. That's a lot of them, but we're going to get into that next. We're going to get into what everybody been doing with their New Year's resolution, and are they yet still holding on?
Right.
Y'all hang in there. This is news you can use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the news you can use media networks. Powered by
this is news you can use. Right back, the best of with Charles and Damali. We hope you had a great 4th of July holiday, and the squad will return next Wednesday.
Let's lay out our trivia question. Oh, I see your call. Go ahead.
All right. So the Black History trivia question for today is, you know, this is Black History Month, but we make Black History happen every day, every Wednesday when we're on our show.
Yes.
Just because we feel like, you know, Black History is more than just the 27 days or 28 days.
I know you're going to come with a good question today.
Yes, I got a good question for you. Okay, so check this out. Who was the first Black billionaire? Billion with a B, okay?
That's a tough one right there.
Billionaire in the United States.
That's tough, Damali.
Okay. Was it A, Robert L. Johnson? Was it B, Reginald F. Lewis? Was it C, Sean Combs? Or was it D, Oprah Winfrey?
Now, I know Robert Johnson is the CEO of BT, right?
Yes.
He was the first original.
Right.
And I know who Oprah Winfrey is, and Sean Combs is P. Diddy. I don't know this other person.
Okay, so we're gonna get the answer at the end of the show. So you guys stay tuned.
That's a tough one.
Who was the first Black billionaire in the United States?
I'm going with Robert L. Johnson.
Okay,
Robert L. Johnson,
the first billionaire.
The first
Charles,
billionaire.
what you got,
baby? Hey, don't be.
I'm gonna go with Oprah.
You gonna go with Oprah?
I think I'm gonna go with Oprah.
All right.
I won last week.
What do you think?
They'll go Oprah.
I think Oprah got that one.
All right, we got a special guest on the phone, so we're gonna pivot here really quick and talk to our special guest. So, if you guys have been to the Liquid Lounge, which is in Greenwood, then you guys know that Guy Troop, who is a native Tulsan, a Hornet, Booker T. Washington Hornets in the house, yes. He actually does a lot of other things, and the Liquid Lounge is one of those things. But he actually was a former college football player at Wichita State and Howard University. He's the former executive sports administrator with the NCAA, the NFL, and the NFL alumni. And he currently works as an athlete development consultant for the NCAA Power 5 schools and the NFL teams. Okay.
Yeah. God, truth there.
Yeah,
accolades.
He does. He's all that and more.
So
he's on the phone.
So guess what? This is KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News you can use. Who do we have on the line?
Hello?
Hey,
can you hear us?
You guys having us. I got Ray Ellis and Tulsa legend Fred Jones. From one Tulsa, so we're happy to join you guys.
Hey. How y'all doing?
Doing well. All is good.
Good. So where are you guys calling from?
We're calling from the Black Men's Brain Health Conference on Arizona State University's campus. We partnered with them as well as Arizona State, ASU Global Sport Institute, and the Center for Business, Sport, and Analytics at North Carolina. So we're doing a 2-day conference on Black men's brain health, and then rolling into the information I gave you around the Players Networking event.
That is awesome.
That is amazing. Are you also with Mr. Ray Ellis?
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Ray Ellis, how you doing? For all our listeners that's tuning in all around the world right here on News You Can Use, Mr. Ray Ellis is a former All-Pro, Played 8 seasons for the Cleveland Browns and Philadelphia Eagles. Played for the legendary coach Woody Hayes at Ohio State. Founded a sports podcast business with over 50 active and former NFL players in 2004. Welcome to the show. How you doing, sir?
All is good. It's my pleasure to be with you guys today.
Yes. So tell us about, so with this Players Network, tell us what you guys are doing and why is it important to do what you're doing there in Arizona?
Concisely, fans depart, money leaves, identity has been so tied to athletic performance that athletes need a place, a safe place to be nurtured into normalcy and then find opportunities after sport.
Yes, that is awesome because a lot of times what happens is people see athletes and former athletes as the money pits. They think that's all you guys do. They don't realize that you guys have needs as well, and you guys need that support system to be able to, rehabilitate you once you actually do leave the league. So I think that is amazing that you guys are doing what you're doing. And, I think that it's amazing that there are some Tulsa roots, that are connected with this organization. So are you guys fired up about the Super Bowl?
I think I'm going to answer that question. I'm fired up about the Super Bowl, but I'm more fired up about this opportunity. Yeah. As Guy mentioned, he's been supportive of players. I've known guys for over 50 years. And
Did you say 50?
Alongside of him. Beg your pardon?
Did you say 50?
15.
Okay. I was like, whoo.
Yes, but he's been a tremendous, friend, mentor, although I'm the elder one, mentor to me and to many of my friends. I have brought to meet him, to be a part of this event, but the support he provides throughout the year, too, is something that many players, once they leave, because you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it.
Sure.
And so once you leave the game, there's another aspect of your life that you realize that you spent no time trying to prepare for that or develop that. And God there to assist you in that transition from the game to normalcy, if you recall.
Wow. So do you encourage folks, Guy, this question is for you. Are you encouraging those former athletes to become business owners or kind of what is your process?
Well, the brand is the Player Network. And what I'm really encouraging them to do is come into an environment, find a trusted mentor, someone that they can learn from. I mean, if I have $5 million in the bank that I've never had a job, but I think I can open up a multi-level marketing company or a barbershop.
Right.
You need to find people that have done that. So that's really the root of it. And so our Black Wall Street Tulsa Mafia and players like Ray that have supported this, we just kind of get in a room and every year we figure out, man, what can we do this year to celebrate success from last year and launch something new? So Fred is here as an example to promote the Black Wall Street Music Project and his One Tulsa initiative. So inside of these walls, an active performing NFL player will learn about that and maybe we'll see him on Greenwood.
Right, and hey, just a couple of weeks ago, you guys interviewed me and we talked about student athletes and coming into a high school and portioning passions and being able to adjust. Well, this is the other student athlete. We're athletes who are able to play in the professional ranks, look at transitioning after the game, being able to, first of all, make sure that they're healthy with the Black Men's Health Initiative. And then also with the P&E being able to make sure that, they just don't live a millionaire lifestyle for 5 years, but they continue to do the correct things with their monies, make the correct investments, and be able to be influential throughout their life, not just through their professional career.
Man, that is amazing. The music come on me, and I got a couple. Hey, look, Fred and God. That means when the music plays, either I got to pay the bills or somebody got to pay something. But anyway, before we go, thank you so much for coming on. But let the listening audience, and we streaming live all around the world, and people putting hearts up all over the place. So it's nothing but love. But how can people follow you guys? How can they support? How can they plug in? Hey, what can they do? Let them know.
I'm a dinosaur, and I'm not very good on social media, but I'm gonna try to pull it up and find the pages for you. You can find guys. The website is pneinfo.com, PaulNancyEdwardInfo.com, and all our social media links are there.
PNEinfo.com.
Yeah.
And this is Rick speaking. I do have some social media accounts. I have a Facebook page. I also do have a Instagram, Ray Ellis 27. See, that shows you how often I use it, but I do have it as well. And there may be another one I may have out there. Sometimes I get people to assist me and post some things for me.
Okay, but, so what I'll do is I'll have Fred Jones and I have Mr. Guy Troop text that to me, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna post it on our live feed. We're gonna share it all over the world. So
we'll help y'all out.
What I want to say, man, is congratulations for the players that's already connected and the ones that will get connected. Congratulations. Keep doing what you're doing right here, KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News you can use. We support you guys to the fullest. Be blessed. Keep doing what you're doing, and we will be in touch. Damali, any final thoughts?
Thank you guys so much for all you're doing, and thank you to the Guy Troop and to Fred Jones. You know, like I said, you know, Tulsa roots. You know, we run deep, and I always say on the show that great things happen in North Tulsa, and these are two of the products from North Tulsa. So thank you guys. We really appreciate it.
Tisdale will be here too. She's gonna promote her book, "Losing My Power Forward." So she's a part of this event as well.
Yes,
absolutely.
Gina,
It's really cool to see them come together for athletes.
Yeah.
And what they do after the sports is done, you know, mentally, physically, and of course financially.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a big issue.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you guys. We appreciate
Hey, y'all still getting all the hearts going up? Hey, we gonna make sure we show up one day, and maybe we can be live. We're gonna take a quick break. We got a special guest in here. Ooh, he ran in here strong, didn't he, Damali?
Yes, he did.
But y'all hold on. This is KBOB 89.9 FM and World One Development News you can use. We'll be right back, y'all.
This is News You Can Use, the best of, with Charles and Damali. We hope you had a great 4th of July holiday, and the squad will return next Wednesday.
Right.
At the end of the day, we're the parent, you know, and it's our job to make sure that they don't see Lieutenant Sanders on the other side. Now, there are some instances where you go because you just made a bad choice.
Right.
But I think that we need to parent.
Right.
You know, we need to let our children know right from wrong. This is unacceptable. Adults, it doesn't matter, even if the adult did it the wrong way. You know, still, the adults are the authority figure, and they should be respected. Period. And then mom deal with that adult at a later time.
Okay, I'm gonna let Lieutenant Sanders get the final thought because he's the star of this show. But so my final thought is let's open the communication lines back up between the school, between our community police officers.
That's right.
Between the parents and the village. Let's open up communication and start back talking to each other, right? And then putting together some accountability. I think everybody's just trying to do their own thing, you know. And another thing is no more mamas coming up to the school with a bonnet on and house shoes. Now we gonna stop that too. That's my next thing. Come up to the school and then scared the whole school.
Want to fight?
You know your mama here won't fight the teacher. You up here. And daddy, you can't be showing up.
Your child is acting.
And daddy, you can't come see walking all the way down the hall. You done scared everybody to come in. You see walking down the hallway, and you're doing it just like Snoop Dogg.
Right.
So we gotta stop doing that too. But anyway, I try to put a little laughter to it, even though it's serious. But communication and respecting each other, no matter what the age is. Lieutenant Sanders, we're gonna give you final thoughts before we go to break.
Well, I also want to add, you know, parents don't make their kids. I don't care what kind of religion that you believe in. The parents don't make their kids to go to like a spiritual place, church and stuff like that.
You
no
know
more.
what? That's true.
So, especially since the pandemic, when all the churches shut down, it's slowly coming back. But a lot of those kids that was going to church all the time, they don't go no more. And, you know, so you don't have no respect when you go to your pastor and say, "Can you go visit my son in jail or go visit my son in the hospital? Can you talk to my son?" And your pastor like, "I cannot talk to him. He don't know me, right? You don't know. He's not going to listen to me." Because you never brought him around me. You never brought around none of us. So
relationship.
You know, So you got to bring that back too.
Man, we're gonna further the conversation, but when we're gonna take a break, we're gonna pivot because we do have another special guest coming in, Miss Kelsey Davis. Y'all better get ready for her.
Yes.
Tori Tyson, she just tuned in.
Hey, Tori.
But we going higher. We already high, but we going higher that.
Yes.
Then y'all hang on. This is news you can use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development. We'll be right back, y'all, with us.
So this article is about the 5 methods for thriving at building Black generational wealth. Okay, that's the name of the article. So they say number 1. So remember, there's 5. So this is what Charles always says: get your pen and pad out.
Get your pen and your pad out. We finna give you some news you can use.
Right. So number 1, know the willpower of financial planning.
Man.
Financial planning. It says that Black people are 50% less likely to have a will plan compared to other groups. And nearly 70% of Black Americans don't have an estate plan or a will, according to Black Enterprise.
Man, that's a big problem right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So building generational wealth means planning and ensuring that the financial security of your loved ones once you pass on. An estate plan, which addresses how your assets can be distributed if something happens, is an excellent way to solidify financial stability. And one thing they say is in that you should address things like your passwords, like to Facebook, and you need to close that stuff out. If you are not here in the physical, then you need to, people need to know how to get into your stuff so they can go ahead and take care of that for you. Which I thought was interesting because I've never seen an article that actually addressed that.
Let me tell you something. I think in our community, I'm just being 100. I think that, man, one grandma and grandpa super private. They don't let you see nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. So when you kind of, for whatever reason, so typically my thing is with what you just mentioned is we're gonna have to trust more.
Right.
Yes. We got to decide when we gonna trust the kids. So when we gonna trust somebody, because a lot of times grandma and grandpa, they got money under the mattress, it's underground, it's under the doghouse. We don't even know where to find.
That's right.
What you think about that, Kamara?
Part of it too is we gotta be willing to have the tough conversations with ourselves, not only with ourselves, but with grandma and grandpa.
There you go.
Even though they don't trust, and they have a reason for not trusting it, because they probably survived the crash and the recession in 1929 when we had all that. So they were like, oh, all my money was gone. So they don't trust any banks or anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
But we got to have that conversation, that tough conversation about, what do we do next? Something as simple as life insurance.
Man, come on now. That's the one right there.
Yeah.
That's the main key, because life insurance is not for me or you. It's for the people that you leave behind.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
So you got to have a tough conversation with them about that and how to properly plan for it and how to properly use it. So it's things like that. It's conversation first. I got to have that tough conversation.
Right. And don't be scared about everything, because sometimes if you go to somebody and say, hey, grandpa, you got your life insurance policy. Get it from me. You trying to kill me?
Exactly.
What you trying to do to me?
Yeah, it's not a conspiracy.
You've been making my coffee all week long, and now you talking about life insurance policy. What's happening? Because sometimes people just be nervous about everything. That's why I say it goes back to we gotta trust. We gotta trust and love and do that.
That's right.
Life insurance. I tell people all the time, your life insurance policy, to me, that's the transition right there.
Right.
What's the fastest way to get access to maybe $500,000 or $1 million? But let me add this. That goes into, man, we got to get healthy.
Gotta get healthy.
We got to get healthy, baby. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's another secret with the life insurance too. Guess what? It's not taxable by the government.
It's not taxable. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That is the one true asset that you can leave that the government can't tax.
Right.
Yeah.
That your people can be all right. See, he said that low. We better go to point number 2, because when he say something low, and he out of Mississippi, we don't know where we might go. And we live all around the world too. So what we got next, Molly?
So just make sure that you are creating a financial plan for the next 5 to 10 years. That's to get you started, if you're not ready to do all the estate planning. Number 2, learn to mind your own Black business.
Oh my goodness.
It says rates of entrepreneurship among the Black community surged 38% during the pandemic. And starting a business or a side hustle is yet another chance for Black communities to invest in their talent. While this type of investment may not be the same as investing in the stock market, it's still a wise way to build generational wealth.
So what you're saying is we thrived during the pandemic, and we soared 38%. So that means when we got private in our own and we was unsure of what was going to happen, that creative thing kicked in.
Right.
You done lost the job. Right. So sometimes that pressure is you got to do something.
Yeah.
So
that stay at home, you're going to stay at home. And then, a lot of us in our communities, we can't afford to not get a paycheck.
Let me say something. We got a lot of people on live. I just want to show them a little love.
Sure.
I got my London, my cousin, Miss Hall. She chimed in with us. Welcome to the show, Raquel Moore. of course, and she gave a vote. Now, Uncle Brian said stress has turned us off from leaving anything for the generation that comes after. And opportunities not being available to build wealth is second, like that's secondary. Meaning you might just be trying to survive a little bit. Or Alicia Walker is on, welcome to the show. Tatris Senior is on, welcome to the show. Ernestine Broom, which is fitting back in royalties on the show, and many others. I'm gonna come back to y'all. I got y'all. Don't worry about it. But we got to get to point number 2.
Yes. So basically, Black folks started creating their own, like, okay, I got to have something to do. I got to have a hustle, some kind of something until, things open back up and I can go back to work.
Right.
But that goes again to your gifts and talents. You have gifts and talents that a lot of times we sit on and we're not using those because you work out of necessity.
Right.
And so we've got to figure out how to turn that hustle into something that we can pass on to future generations.
Absolutely.
Is basically the point. Number 3, invest in the stock market and real estate.
Man, I know so you got to do a little homework is what that sounds like.
So CNBC did a survey and they reported that half of Black U.S. adults don't currently own individual stocks, mutual funds, bonds, or exchange trade funds, cryptocurrency, or real estate.
You said 50%?
Nearly 50%, half of Black folks.
So you take half the trying, and that's how you get to only 3% of the wealth right there, because you got half of the people not even participating in what's really going on. What you think about that with like the stock market and currency and cryptocurrency? Because it
goes back to education, though. It goes back to education and trust. Boom. And then something so if you don't understand it, you more than likely not going to do it.
That's right.
So if we were properly educated on investing in real estate and in the stock market, then we would do it. And then also it goes back to means, because when it comes to investing in those particular platforms, it's not your everyday income that you use to do that. You gotta have some discretionary fund, some play money, to be able to invest in real estate and in those other platforms. And sometimes in our community, that's just not the case.
You don't have that extra. Right. A lot of times in some of them spaces, you have to be what you call an accredited investor. And most people don't have $250 a quarter of $1 million sitting somewhere to be able to participate. But you still can get stocks and trade. There's other things that you still can do. But you got to read up on some of that stuff. We might just have a show dealing just with that. And so
to your point, one of the things that they say in this article is the number one thing that Black folks need to do is have financial literacy. We need to understand these options, in order to be able to operate and play in those spaces.
Let me say this too. And I think I'm not speaking for everybody. So don't nobody call up here. Don't come up to KBOB because I'm going to leave before we get here. But a lot of times I notice when I go to financial literacy stuff, it's only about credit card, houses, and it's really stuff to just get you in more debt, how to get a car, how to do this. But the financial literacy is not this. So we need to have some financial literacy. That's part 1 is that, because that is important, your credit and all of that. But this is where we losing out because 50% don't participate. So we got to go part 2, and then you got to hang around and listen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then read up on yourself. So that's just what I'm.
But I think a lot of it too is you have to do your research for yourself.
Right.
I don't need to go to a class. If I decide that I want to create financial or become financially literate, then I need to go out there's plenty of free seminars and stuff on the internet and things that you can go out and just research for yourself. Go get some books. You know what I'm saying? Like what we talk about all the time. If you want to hide something from Black people, put it in a book.
Right.
Because most of us don't read.
Now, let me add this
Go pick up a book.
Let me add this. I don't want nobody to run and grab all the money from in the household and to go start trying to trade currency and stuff, because that's why on Black Wall Street, that's why what a bull is. It's you can't even jump out the glass because people lose their money and jump to their death. So we don't want nobody jumping to their death and saying news you can use, said go trade. Now, we didn't say that. Kamaro said you got to educate yourself.
Yes.
You got to educate yourself.
Yes. So number 4 is become fluent in your finances, which again is financial literacy, because that helps close the gap, the wealth gap between Blacks and whites. And Black America answered so this is another statistic that I thought was pretty interesting. Black Americans answered an average of 38% of a personal finance index like questionnaire.
Right.
38%. Whereas white Americans answered an average of 55% of the questions about financial literacy.
See that? That's
what we're saying. You know, you have to read for yourself, understand for yourself, and know for yourself. Not listen to other people. Oh, well, you know, Ray said. Don't listen to Ray. Ray gonna all your money gonna be gone.
Get you stuck.
Yeah, you're gonna be stuck. Don't listen to Ray. And then the last thing is become proactive in reducing student loan debt.
Man, that's tough.
It says Black borrowers struggle with student loan debt, with 29% making monthly payments of $350 or more per month. Graduates can refinance their student loans or create repayment plans that focus on prioritizing interest rates over the overall amount.
Right.
So, you know, trying to make sure that you get the, you know, because I got some friends, and I'm not gonna call y'all out and say y'all name, but they just ignore their financial, you know, or ignore their financial aid debt like it never even happened. And I'm like, you do understand it coming.
Let me add this, Damali, because it's my bad. It ain't on you, it's on me. Because me and Kamara, man, we've been knowing each other probably for over 20 years, probably 20, 25.
Right.
So we got people that's streaming in here from everywhere. So I want to at least give you a chance to say a little bit about yourself and where you from. Now, how you show up in Tulsa? How you get here?
Yeah.
All
Give the people a little snippet of who you are.
Kamara Washington, and I've been in Tulsa now going on 24 years. Been in Tulsa since 1999. Came here by way of my wife. She's been on the show. She's a friend of the show, Dr. Nicole Washington. So I kicked my coverage. Tear it up.
There you go.
Good job.
We have two beautiful kids. My son's a junior at Hampton University. And my daughter's a junior in high school at Broken Arrow High School. So, but just been in the Tulsa community now, like I said, 24 years. For a long time, I remember you and I were members at Morning Star Baptist Church.
Right.
But I'm a part of the greatest fraternity on earth. Charles, you know this.
See there. That's why I didn't want to do it in the beginning.
Charles, you know this.
Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Found on the historically Black college campus of Howard University, November 17, 1911. And it's because of the fraternity that I'm continuing to do some of the community work that I've done in the past.
Right.
Charles and I have always had conversations in the past about community work. Omega Psi Phi just giving me another platform to do it.
And JB gonna do the remix. You see how JB is? He gonna add to it. Add you to the fire. Now he gonna Come on. Go ahead.
We won't do that. That's for later. Later.
Bring that down. You don't even know what you're doing. Bring that down.
They would tap the whole studio. Right. But I know you invited me on to be able to talk about some of the things that our fraternity will be doing in the community. And it just goes back to what the great stuff that you guys have been doing in this community with worldwide development. And I always ask you, let me piggyback off of that a little bit. Yes. Let me just kind of help you out some, or let me chime in. And this is a great opportunity to do so with the job fair and the health fair that we're doing in the community.
Yes.
As we talk about generational wealth, jobs is one way to get there.
Right.
But the proper job. And what our country and our society did a long time ago is when they got rid of those long-term jobs with pension plans, they eliminated generational wealth for Black people.
Absolutely.
Because when Pop back in the day had a job, he had a pension. That pension really was kind of the way to kind of
we in them 70s now.
Bridge that gap with wealth. But when they eliminated that eliminated a lot of generational wealth for our community, along with the lack of education, lack of opportunity.
And it kills family stability. Because you could be a mason, you could be a carpenter, you could be a lot of that. Then it switched to you got to go to college, and everybody couldn't go to college. Now dad's out the home. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yes,
but you right on target.
But it goes back to that though. I mean, you hit the nail on the head when you said it. A trade. A trade doesn't mean that you can't build generational wealth.
That's right.
A trade is your foot in the door. Yeah. And then if you get that proper education on how to manage and run a business, then you marry the two together. Yeah. That's how you build that generational wealth. You build something that you can pass down to your kids. Or if your kids don't want to do it, you build something that you can sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Because somebody can come buy your business. And then that's how you develop the generational wealth.
Right.
That's it. And what a lot of people don't know, man, me and Kamara, it's been, like I say, about 20. I moved here in 2000. We hooked up right after that. And raising families. I think I knew him before our kids was baby. Khalil was 3. I mean, that's how long we've been knowing each other, and we've been going along. And when and here's the beauty of partnership, because I always try to talk about partnership, is that, I mean, we was getting ready to do our first summer camp, and then me and Damali realized we had 2 computers.
Two.
And some way, somehow, and this is where the spiritual side come in. Kamara called me out of nowhere and said, man, I got laptops I need to donate. And we just talked the day before, like we need to get some laptops.
Yeah.
And I said, come on, don't be playing. You done tap my phone some kind of way. You and your frat brothers done tap my phone.
Right.
And him and the brothers Omega Sci-Fi.
Yep.
I might build Sigma, which is the best fraternity in the world. We ain't gonna talk about that now. But
he's like, oh
the Omegas brought over to EduRec Youth and Family Fund Center 25 great laptops.
Yep.
And that's really how we kicked off our first summer camp. And we always appreciate, because we don't forget about those things.
That's right.
And now EduRec is 10 years old this month.
Yeah.
And we still hooked up doing stuff.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how you do it, though.
That's how you do it.
But we're in a place where the community leaned on each other time after time. The 1921 Race Massacre just washed that out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But Black Wall Street was built on partnerships and communities leaning on each other for different things. And so we got to continue to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way we truly rebuild Black Wall Street is if you got something going on and I can help you, let's do so.
Yes.
If you got a business, I'm gonna support your business. Turn around and support mine as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And that's how we do that.
That's how we get there together.
Absolutely. So let's get off into and talk about the event that you guys have going, because it actually feeds into what we're talking about right here.
Okay. Oh, well, let me get a little backstory about the 9th District.
Sure. So
the 9th District of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated is comprised of 4 states. You got Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas.
Gotcha.
So this event that we got coming up this Saturday is kind of the kickoff for our district meeting. The 86th 9th District meeting is taking place here in Tulsa.
Okay.
Starting next Wednesday, March 29th through April 2nd.
Okay.
So we're bringing over 1,000. Yeah, we're bringing over 1,000 registered brothers.
Yes, that's gonna be nice
to have our annual business meeting, but to actually impact the Tulsa community.
Yeah.
And so one of the ways we felt that we can truly impact the Tulsa community was let's do an event in Greenwood, Greenwood.
Yes.
And
That's good stuff. Yeah.
And so we said, let's do a job fair, career fair.
Yeah.
That was one of them. Then let's do a health fair.
Yes.
All right. Number 2, career fair, because providing jobs, providing opportunities, providing a place for people to come and get educated on jobs, what's out there in the community, what's available. And we have some great community partners that are helping us with that. But then also on the health fair side of it, because there's 2 things.
Yes.
Health is wealth.
Yes.
You can't build wealth if you're not healthy.
That's
right. So we're going to educate the community on proper health techniques. We're bringing in some great doctors. A great friend of the show, Andrew Frideau, will be speaking on neurology.
Yes.
And so we got a panel at the end of that health fair that they're going to get to talk about 5 or 6 doctors and really get educated on some health stuff, ask questions. But the career fair, we partnered with Goodwill Industries and their job piece.
Huge.
We've partnered with the 2 local AKA chapters, Alpha Chi Omega, and then Alpha Omega.
Yes.
They're partnered with us in this effort, and it's to kick off our meeting and the AKA's meeting as well.
Right.
But we really want to impact people that look like us.
Yeah.
Our community.
Yes.
And what better place to do it than in Black Wall Street and on Greenwood?
Come on,
and
Damali,
I love that you're hitting it on 2 different levels, though. You're hitting the job part of it, and then you're hitting the health part of it, because really both of those work hand in hand.
That's true. That's true. But because if you can't get up and go to work,
oh my goodness.
How are you going to make money?
Yes.
Let me go quick shout out to Jackie Washington. That's tuned in with us. We got Mr. AJ Johnson down there in the J-Bone Lounge. My brother, but he said, hi, family. Mr. Energizer in the building down here in the J-Bone Lounge. His queen birthday is tomorrow, so we'll give her a shout out.
Yeah.
Chuck Jones that runs Tulsa Takeover to the barber. He's watching. He's in the building. Welcome to the show, Mr. Chuck Jones. Miss Hilda Sanders, she's in the building. Lynette Westmiss Harris, she's in the building with us. And many, many more. And I'm going to come back, but we just trying to get all through this meat and potatoes that we got going on. I tell you what, we're going to dive a little bit deeper. We're going to talk a little bit about where affluent Black people live. Where are these people getting these great careers? Where they going? Where they hiding out? We're going to slip them out and put this spotlight on them. Kamara going to stay here. I ain't going to let him go nowhere with his gold boots on. Hang on. This is news you can use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM. And we'll be right back, y'all.
It's time to take the beats to the streets. World One Developments, news you can use is very own. Charles Harper and Damali Wilson are broadcasting live on location at the 9th District Community Career Expo at OSU Tulsa and the 9th District Community Health Fair at Langston, Tulsa. 2 great events on historic Greenwood, presented by Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority and Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. The 9th District Community Career Expo takes place this Saturday, March 25th, 9 a.m. until 12 noon, featuring jobs, jobs. I'm talking good jobs from some of Tulsa's top companies, including the City of Tulsa and Whirlpool, to name one or two. Plus, it's sponsored by Goodwill Jobs. And at the same time, at Langston Tulsa campus, it's the 9th District Community Health Expo, featuring free health screenings, also providing vital information regarding blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, behavioral health, women's health, dental health, and weight loss. So now you know where you need to be. This Saturday, March 25th, from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. Come hang out with World One Developments, Charles Harper, and Damali Wilson. There's a live DJ, plenty of fun, and you never know what kind of free stuff they'll be giving away. So don't miss it. The 9th District Community Career Expo and the 9th District Community Health Expo at OSU Tulsa and Langston Tulsa. Sponsored by Omega Psi Phi Fraternity and the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. See you there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The all new KBOB 89.9 FM, Black on Black Community Radio.
And now it's time for the Hump Day Hot Topics with Charles and Damali.
hey, guess what day it is?
Hump day!
Hump day! It's hump day! Hey, Mike.
It's the Hump Day Hot Topics on news you can use.
And man, Damali, we've been going. Kamara brought a show in here. We going deeper and deeper, baby. We going deeper and deeper. Real quick, AJ Johnson, hope I can read this right. Said, Brother Rock, tell the brother Q Phi Beta Sigma has all of the Greeks covered with the royal blue and white. So I ain't even gonna start with that. I'll read to that later. This is my brother. He's in here. Okay, so what we're gonna do real quick is, because everybody's asking where is it, when is it, and all of that. Let's give them that meat, and then we're gonna come back and have more conversation.
So details on both events. So first, the career fair. The career fair will be hosted this weekend, this Saturday, March 25th, 2023, at OSU Tulsa campus. And then the career fair is this Saturday, March 25th, at Langston Tulsa campus. Both events will be held simultaneously from 9 to 12 p.m. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You'll have some giveaways and door prizes at both events. So I definitely want to be in attendance. For the career fair, there will be opportunities for on-site interviews.
Come on.
And opportunities for you to fill out applications as well.
That's awesome. So now you don't have any excuse because Langston and OSU are like right there together.
I got one excuse.
What's that?
I just need to hear about the food. Is anybody doing ribs or chicken or a
See,
snack?
it's a health fair. We're not eating ribs.
It's
It's a health fair.
Egg whites.
It's a health fair. We're not doing that.
Hey, y'all got the details and
bring us some fruit, Kamara. Golly,
Kamara, you the lead person on this. Thank you for doing it in Black Wall Street.
Yes,
because you didn't have to.
Yes,
when you got 1,000 brothers coming in, it's easy to say we going out south where we can get in the Renaissance Hotel, and I know how. But it takes a grown man,
yes,
to say no. We taking this to where I know it needs to be. I've been here since 1999, and we taking it here to impact our people. Now, I ain't no telling what they're gonna show up after that. Yeah. But at least we know this is going down.
We're not talking about the after.
Shout out to the AKAs as well. We had two of them on here last week. Yeah. All right, Damali. So now Kamara, you finished because I don't want
No, we're good.
We're good right there.
Okay.
Damali, what we gonna touch on next?
So here are a couple of careers that we want to drop on you that Black folks are not taking advantage of.
Right.
Those careers are technology and computer science. Guys, these are some of the biggest careers out there. Make great money. And those are places that, you would really, if you want to talk about creating generational wealth, these are places where there's going to be money for a long time.
Absolutely.
Because we're always going to need tech. Tech is going to get more and more advanced as time goes on. So you need to be in those spaces. So for those of you who are at home playing video games, put that video game down and you can come on and find you a job in tech.
Hey, quick shout out to Mario Choice. He's checking in from Funky Town. I know he checked in because he's an A5A. See how the Divine Nine getting started? Don't y'all start with me in here because I can't manage all of it.
Jackie, do not encourage him. She says, Charles, you can eat those ribs. Just chew slow.
Slow and easy. And drink water. I got my water too. Thanks, Jackie. Good looking out. See, this is what I want to ping pong if we can. Because we talked a little bit about this on break. is understanding like your will and a trust.
Sure.
Okay, so we're gonna get back into, of course, we're gonna talk about the kind of career you get into,
Right.
the computer science and all of that.
Mhm.
But what do you need to be doing as you want to really protect yourself when you talk about wills and trusts?
So because I'm not a licensed financial planner, I want to put that out there first.
Right.
It's a disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. But you want to make sure you talk to a financial planner
Right.
and also have an attorney involved.
Yes.
But you have a will, so it's if nothing else, at a minimum, we as a people need to have a will in
That's
place.
right.
Right.
We need to give the living as we die. We need to give the living instructions on what to do with our assets.
That
Right.
That part, even if it's just a chair and some dishes.
That's
we
right.
give instructions on what to do with those.
What to do with that
So the
chair.
family's not fighting over it.
That's right.
Man, when he said that chair here, Luther said, chair is just a chair. Okay.
Right.
But then even with if you could take it a little further, and I implore and I encourage everybody to take it a little further. Not only do a will, but do a trust.
That's right.
And when I say do a trust, take that will and put it inside a trust. Take that home you own, put it inside a trust.
Mm-hmm.
Take that car you own, the insurance, whatever you own, put it inside a trust and own nothing. Control the trust, but don't have the trust.
Mhm.
I mean, don't own anything. The trust owns it all.
Yes.
I'm saying he just saved y'all a lot of. This is generational wealth. What
Yes,
he's
so
talking
we're
about, because
talking
when you're talking about if you build, what Nehemiah said, he was building and protecting.
Mhm.
You got to build
That's
it and
right.
protect it.
Yeah,
So
build
you
it,
build you something, then you slide it over here. I'm
Mhm.
building it over here. I'm gonna slide it over here. So
Right.
just in case somebody want to sue you for nothing,
Mhm.
go ahead, because
Mhm.
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
That's a Whitney Houston song, man.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Nothing leaves nothing. That's good stuff right there. So Damali, so these careers that we do not participate in, why is that? Are we getting into the wrong careers if we look for generational wealth?
I think, well, from what I've read in the research, that I think that people just don't understand how profitable that these particular careers can be.
Right.
And then there's not a push for people that look like us to be in these careers.
Right.
Typically, you got to know somebody that's doing it before you be like, oh, I didn't know that you can do that. Just like there's a young lady that is now a firefighter, Black firefighter. Mm-hmm. And my granddaughter has been talking about forever she wants to be a firefighter. So on her 6th birthday, which was just a couple weeks ago, my daughter took her to the fire station, and this young lady let her get into the uniform and all of that. Right. Now she sees somebody that looks like her, a young lady that is actually doing this. So now it's like, okay, this is not that far off. I think I can do this. You know what I'm saying? But we don't see people that look like us. And if we do, they're so far removed away from where we are that, it just seems like it's just impossible.
And I think what we have to find a way to do, man, and let me get these listeners. I want them to get me my phone getting hot. My niece Dominique Young, she's tuning in. She's an accountant, so she knows all about that mess with those numbers. Jackie also said, and we need to stop saying our people won't fight over things, because they will fight. People fighting at the funeral, people fighting at home. If you think about it, like we have a lot of funerals at the event center, and people are always fighting over money, man. Right. It's because we don't have what Mr. Washington said in place. We don't have a will, and we don't have a trust with instructions. Because here's the thing: if you get that said, nobody has nothing to fuss or fight about.
Correct, because it's your
daddy
wishes.
said this, mama said this. You should have took that up with them while they was here. You didn't. So you got the house, you got the cars, and you got it's what they leaving for.
And I got the $1 million.
And did somebody get the $1 million just like that? And I think another thing too, speaking to what I feel like you said, it with a lot of this stuff, I think we can end up in our own silos. A lot of times people get a big house and they live up on the hill and you don't even know what they do.
Right.
I just hope, whether it's politics or just business or whatever, we do a better choice, a better job at moving forward and reaching back and helping. That's what I love about KBOB. That's what I love about what me and Kamara do. You said Dr. Andre Ferdu, he's been on our show for a year now.
Right.
That's going forward and reaching back and trying to give this next generation an opportunity and some guidance on these things that we are doing. Because I'm going to throw this in here and see what y'all think about it, because I think it's true. We went to a Magic Johnson conference in Nebraska, of all places. I thought only was corn in Nebraska, but Magic Johnson was there.
Yep.
But and it's nice. I had never been to Nebraska. But anyway, they said it actually takes 4 generations to build generational wealth. I was like, ouch. How hard is it just to live for 4 generations? But if you think about it, like my own, I didn't get no generational wealth from my dad.
Right.
But look, this is what I'm trying. Me and Kamar, we talk about this stuff way back at Morning Star. So I'm trying to build something to give to Khalil. So I just had a grandkid. You see, that's 3.
Yeah.
And I can kind of visually see from the discussions we have how in 4 generations,
it's
now
possible.
we can go to school and not have all this debt.
All of that. That's
You know, now we can live what we need to live, and we can give back, and we can help. What you think about that 4 generations to build generational wealth?
I think there's something to it, because when you look at it, it has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you said, my mom and my dad, they're not leaving me anything. I mean, thankfully they're not leaving me with any debt, but I told them, don't, make sure you take care of yourself.
Right.
So, but it starts with us. It starts with my wife and Nicole and I. We build and prepare for not only our kids, but our kids' kids.
Yeah.
And our kids' kids.
Yes.
So we've implanted in our kids that, hey, continue to build, be good citizens, vote, and do all these things, but make sure you continue to teach your kids what we've taught you.
That's right.
And see that, I think I always go back to education, because the problem is a lot of people get so caught up in that they wait on the school system to teach our kids.
Yeah.
Right.
We supposed to teach our kids.
That's right.
And the school system is supposed to be an ad hoc to what we're teaching.
Come on now.
So,
Yes.
So when the kids go to school already, they already know, and they're just adding to what we've already taught them.
Yes.
So if we can get to a point where we're constantly teaching our kids, then we'll eliminate all these generational curses that we have.
Yes.
Right.
And we can start to build that generational wealth. So I can see that we're 2 generations in now, starting with my wife and I.
Right.
And soon, hopefully, my son will get married sometime soon, and he'll start a generation. My daughter. So I can see
you
the
can
4.
see that. Yeah.
And you're closer than I am.
Right.
But you can see that 4. But you got to plant those seeds, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to plant those seeds.
Absolutely. And I'll add this to Molly, and I'm gonna pass you the hopper table. But let me say something. The live is going crazy. Real quick, AJ said not only have a will, have a trust and a non-reversible trust. That keeps the government hands off of your wealth. Good stuff, Mr. Energizer, down there in Jacksonville, Arkansas. My cousin, Miss Hall, said, right, I love what you all doing. I learned something every time. Very important to our children, too. That's absolutely right, getting that information out. I'll say this. Man, this one thing was my eye opener, and I'm gonna definitely get y'all take on it. Man, when you in school, a lot of times people come speak to you. What they say: stay out of trouble, go to college, do this, and this is it. And sometimes you can do all that, and that really ain't it.
That's not it.
That's
not it.
So we gotta teach them that. I'm like, okay, let me get in school. I graduated with honors, cum laude, did all that. Then you realize this world out here is not just opening up a whole bunch of doors for us to just come in and may not be able to get that generational wealth. You may, because we on KBOB, thank God, Uncle Bob to give us a little leverage, but we end up going in, and you can work 20 years, and somebody may come in that don't look like you, making what you make or more than what you make. You got to train them how to be your supervisor.
That part.
That's just reality. I don't care if you're a doctor, lawyer, business, or what have you. And I'm gonna say this, and I'll move. I won't say what the job is. I don't want nobody looking for me, but I applied for a job. It was 300 people. It came down to me and a guy from Chicago. And I did everything right. They've been all back to my high school, talked to my junior high coach, and I'm fired up. I done got my degree. And I get in there, they call me into a meeting of 12 people, and none of them look like me. And this is what they told me. And this is what made my mindset change on just maybe this career thing.
Right.
They told me, look, you did everything right. We don't have nothing to say, but we just gonna say we can't give you the job because we don't know you. I'm like that.
Ouch.
I said, hold on. So I outdid the guy. Now I'm leased from Tulsa. He's from Chicago.
Right.
They said, I said that in there. I'm willing to say what I need to say. You didn't give me the job no way, so I can go and say everything before I leave. I'm like, well, at least I'm from Tulsa. You know what I mean? He's not even from here. But this is what they told me. This is a high rank. I was going to be paying $85,000 a year, which was going to be good at 28 years old.
Yeah.
They just were like, man, we apologize. But they just let me know it is what it is. Have you experienced anything like that, Kamara or Damali?
Yeah.
Let's be real with it with some of the listeners.
Yes.
I'm going to pass it to you first, Kamara.
Yes, I mean, it's myself now. So I'm a serial entrepreneur, but prior to that,
right,
I've been applied for jobs, and I won't say where. I've applied at a bank and got the interview because of a friend of mine, but still didn't get the job because somebody else's who higher up son was getting the job.
Yeah,
and that's what I was told. So I mean, you have to just deal with that. But that's the kind of stuff we deal with in this world, in this reality.
Yeah, the same things happen to me.
Damali, not you.
Yeah,
not Damali, not in Damali's world.
Listen, in Damali's world, I was in the legal profession. That's what I did for 25 years.
Right.
And there were different positions that came up at different times throughout my career. And of course, I was the best person for the job, and was told, "You're the best person for the job, but we're gonna go ahead and go with her." and that her didn't do the work, so now you bringing me her work. I'm like, no, y'all paying her to do it. Let her do it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you didn't want to give me the salary that you're giving her. So no, I'm not doing it.
And I think even in industries, if you think about whether it's music artists, if you people that trucking companies, I talk to people in various, just to say, is this only in certain areas? But they'll say, no, man, I'm trying to do my trucking business stuff, man, and I can't get certain contracts, but it's layers to it.
That's
so
right.
it's like no matter where you go. So we're just saying that to say that you don't give up on your dream now, baby. You said serial entrepreneur. Damali's the same thing. I'm the same thing. But those are the things we do have to educate our kids and maybe sometime our nieces and nephews. Because sometimes when our nieces and nephews go, that you didn't get to tell them that, then that's, it can knock them down, man. People jumping off bridges, committing suicide. No, don't do that.
No.
It's going to be all right. Keep tuning in. The news you can use right here on KBOB on Black Wall Street. We're going to give you some nuggets that you can use. We're going to take a real quick break. Where does the people that make these great decisions live? The people with the money, the medium income, some of those things. We're just going to take a real quick break. We're going to come back. This is KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development. Kamala still can't go nowhere yet.
This is News You Can Use, the best of, with Charles and Damali. We hope you had a great 4th of July holiday, and the squad will return next Wednesday.
Yes, as Charles said, he flew up in here. He was ready.
You know who we got in here?
Who's that?
We got none about my homeboy. I call him Big Chris.
That's
He's
true.
in here.
That's a good.
Hey,
that's
Big
it.
Chris, welcome to the show, my man. How you doing?
Hey, doing great, man. Thank you guys for having me right here. It's just good to be in the studio, man. I've heard so many great things,
Yeah.
Seen it online, and just to be here in person is pretty cool, man. The vibe and the energy in here is great. Thank you so much for having me.
I tell you what, it's 2023. So what's new? It's 2023. We made it to another year. So how has it been thus far?
Man, it's been great. It's been great. We were talking about New Year's resolutions earlier, but I think you said something earlier about discipline and consistency.
Yes.
That's how we try to go every single day. So we're just trying to do better than last year. Maybe not as good as next year.
Yeah.
Always just trying to make a little bit of progression.
A little bit
just
better.
trying to get a little bit better. Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
Well, let's do this, man, because we got people, listening in from all around the world. That's one thing. So
Yes.
we live everywhere.
Wow.
So tell the people a little bit about Chris, Big Chris, man. Tell them a little bit. Where you from? How you get here? What's going on? Tell them a little bit.
Yeah, so, fast forward back to 1999. My brother played basketball, high level, got recruited out here to play at Oral Roberts University.
Okay.
Came out here and he said, Chris, you're not going to believe this. If you are good at sports, okay, and you like American food, they'll give you a scholarship out here. In America. Yeah, I was like, what? I said, what's a scholarship? He's like, look, I think you're good enough. So my mum and dad scraped all their money together and put me on a plane. Sent me to America. Now, I only had a short window to find a school.
Yeah.
So everyone kind of chipped in with their love, took me around schools. Next thing you know, I had a beautiful American host family. And I'm an English man living in America, mate.
Yes.
16 and a half years
That's
old.
the accent right there. That's the
That's
accent.
16 and a half years old. So busted my tail, worked super hard just to get that scholarship. Now, I wasn't big time in basketball, but I was just good enough to get that full ride. So I went to Bacone College.
Yes.
My brother transferred from OU, want to do that brotherly thing.
There you go.
Yes,
We get the brotherly love.
Finally get to play,
Yeah.
And after that, graduated with a degree, in business administration. And it just started snowballing from there. Met my beautiful wife. We've got 4 beautiful kids now, dog and a cat. Right? A dog and a cat. Living the American dream, as one may say. Come on now. And so I got my degree in business, and I was like, this is going to be easy. Next thing you know, I'm sitting at home unemployed.
Oh, wow.
Because my visa hadn't came through for me to work.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at home unemployed, can't get a job, posting absolutely everywhere. No one would hire me. Just when I was about to give up, I went to a job fair. I didn't have a car, so I walked about 4 or 5 miles to a job fair.
Wow.
And the only place that gave me a job was to sell cars. So hey, they gave me the opportunity. Sometimes it only takes one person believing in you, right?
Yes.
Hey, come on.
So started selling cars. 3 months later, I don't know if it was because I was black with an English accent and white teeth. They liked me. They promoted me. Mate. I guess they've never seen that before. You know what I mean? So I guess I was just, they've never seen that in this part of America. So promote me into finance. And, God is good, man. I mean, he blessed me tremendously, took me off food stamps and basically started making real good income. But then about 5 years later, I realized, hey, hold on a minute. What's the point of doing all this if you don't get time to spend with your family?
That part.
So that's when I started really investing and checking out the entrepreneurial opportunities. And then God opened another door and opened up my insurance agency. And so I look back and just realized how blessed I was to have that. So we're 10 years in the insurance game now. However, now kind of keep doing that. That's great things. But now it's bigger. What can we do bigger? What can we do better? And that's why we're launching the Business Podcast Show with yours truly on the first episode, my man Charles and Mr. Marley. Rock and roll, sausage roll. And just blessed to do life with you guys, and just thank you guys so much for partnering up and helping me launch this first show.
Yeah.
Damali, let me tell you something. They say life is your testimony.
Yes.
How powerful was a testimony? This man gave his testimony in like a minute and a half. What that means, he thinks about what he's doing.
That's right.
He know where he comes from. He's rooted the right way. And I think setting that foundation is what has allowed him to have this growth. What do you think?
You know what? And I can honestly say, and I can attest to the fact that it's all about giving to others. I've watched you do that.
Right.
You know, I mean, we actually became acquainted because of the Edgerec Bears.
That's right.
Our basketball team at over our Youth and Family Fun Center, and you came over and coached and had your kids involved, and you were just fired up. And when you figured out what we were doing, then it was like, hey, let me figure out how I can help and how I can donate and how I can just be there. And you've been plugging in to us ever since, you know, trying to bless kids, you know, blessing that next generation. That's why you bless, my friend. That's why you bless.
And let me add this. So it's funny how Edgerec next month celebrate 10 years. You know, we in North Tulsa.
Wow.
We in North Tulsa.
Correlation right there.
You see how that works?
Let's go.
So sometimes, even though when you moving forward, you still got to reach back and help.
That's
right.
Now,
this man got a testimony. He tell you what he's trying to build, but you can tell he kept reaching back because we done did camps. We had the camp with the guy that came over. We had 100 kids out. We gave them shirts. We was giving everything. So food, back to school clothes, backpacks, whatever's needed.
Edgerec eats.
Edgerec eats. Everything. He comes through, but it shows that when you go to a place like North Tulsa and you get an old building, you need partnerships like what we have with Chris for those things. So right now we on the radio, there's hundreds of kids right now. Edgerec, the doors have never closed.
Yes.
So Chris, when you think about how hard is it or how difficult is it sometimes to balance out, I'm trying to be successful, but I am getting phone calls of people in need. How do you process who do I support and partner with when you're trying to make sure it's just a good fit?
Right.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think, everyone sees the after product, right?
Yes.
That you got here, you're doing well, whatever it may be, but no one sees the multiple fails. And I think the most important thing is when you do fall down is make sure you fall down on your back so you can look up, you can get up. You know what I mean? And so just taking all of that is, you said it perfect, is how do you help someone else? And the saying I heard is you can get to the top of the hill, but who else did you bring up to the hill with you?
Yes.
And I think that's so similar to when I was walking out the gym 3 years in my new business venture. And a friend asked me, said, we're having a conversation. And how many times they ask you that question? So what do you do for a living, right?
Yes.
And if you've got any, I don't have a big ego, but if you've got any small piece of ego, like, how does this person not know what I do?
Right.
You know? And that's when it hit me. It hit me is like, if no one knows what you do, what you offer, or what you can bring to the community, how are you ever going to get to partner with someone, or how someone to reach out to you when they want to buy your product and service?
Sure.
And that's when it hit me, is like overcoming obscurity in the marketplace.
Right.
How do we overcome this and have more of a digital presence when people want to make a buying decision or a donation decision? They think of your program. And so I think the best way to answer that is just being proactive, man.
Yeah.
You can't fake showing up. Just keep showing up, because sometimes.
Will you say that again?
Yeah.
Say that again.
You can't fake showing up.
I'm gonna put that on the shirt. He didn't give me a business idea.
How many times someone says, "Hey, if you need anything, I'll be there." Really?
Yeah.
Really? How about
And
you just
where
show
are
up?
you?
How about you just show up?
There you
So
go.
if you keep showing up and you keep being there, it doesn't matter what you do and who you help or whatnot. Just keep showing up.
Yeah.
And naturally, God's going to bless you and you'll be able to help people. So I don't really look at, most important from 1 to 10 or who do I help? I just keep showing up, man, every day and give my best. And that's how I handle that.
Let's do this, man. So here is you celebrating 10 years. So that's why to me, that makes sense to launch the business podcast.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But when did it hit you that, man, I think I need to do this? I mean, what's your thought? Because a lot of people out here doing podcasts.
Yes.
But what made you say, you know what? I think that I got something to offer to this podcast world.
Yes, I tried doing something like this about 6-7 years ago. But I realized, in life, you got all these spinning plates.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, the plates start falling. I was like, okay, I can't go on and do this until I'm completely confident and comfortable that I'm at the top of my game in the field I'm at,
Right.
Well, I feel like being blessed with the team that I've been blessed with. We are not just number one, we're at the top of our field. So I was like, okay, it's that time for season to go off and introduce the value through a different area.
Sure.
And hey, God just said, hey, it's time. And sometimes we've got to pray for his wisdom and his knowledge, but also the right doors to be opened and the wrong doors to be closed. And I just feel like God's opened this door for me, and I feel like we're equipped. And just me getting to collaborate with you guys, World One Development, let's go, baby.
Yes.
That's how it is. I think when it's blessed by God and you're with the right people and collaborating with the right people, you can have the success you are. So there's no time like now. We've taken time out the equation in 2023, and we're launching this podcast, you know, and you are going to miss out big time if you don't come check it out.
Okay.
Hey,
what are you looking to accomplish with the podcast?
So essentially, the biggest thing is to help these small business owners. Okay, small business owners, local community leaders, people with influence. Just help them get out there. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. And the crazy thing about this, that's such a great question, is we ain't trying to sell nothing here.
Right.
You know, I'm not trying to make any money off this. Literally, I'm just trying to help people out. Be a person of value, spread the word, and that's all we're trying to do. And I think when you're organically and genuinely trying to help people, it comes around 10 times fold anyway.
That's right.
Right.
You know? That's right.
Let's do this, Damali, because I got to do it. Because we got probably 40, 50 people from Uganda. Before we went to Uganda, we actually stopped in London. We stopped in the UK, so I went over to see Chris people. I told them I'm here. Where is the king? Chris. I was sent by Chris. Where is the king? They let me see the king, you know, the new king, the royal courts and all that.
Yeah.
London is an amazing place. UK is an amazing place. But when we went over to Uganda, man, a lot of those young people, I just want you to say something to them for a minute, because they tune in and it's probably 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And the thought is, man, I want to work hard because I want to try to get to the US, man. That to me, that's like their dream. I want to get to America. So you are from a different country and came here. Can you speak to them of just things you may want to do there at home as you just prepare mentally or whatever, if you want to come to the United States?
Yeah.
I just want to encourage them to be motivated, to keep working hard, because you are an example of getting here and a success story.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it all came down to my faith. You know, I didn't really have a relationship with Jesus, you know, when I was younger, but I selfishly wanted to get out here. So I got down on my knees and I just prayed. I said, God, if you can just make me a great basketball player, you know, I'll pay you back on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Like just make me a great basketball player. Now, he said, do push-ups, start doing push-ups. But, you know, but it's the faith. If you want something really bad, you know, it's got to be a higher power. It's got to be a higher power helping you get there. You know what I mean? And that I give all credit. Now, during that time, I didn't understand how much God was helping me. You know what I mean? But looking back, you know, just you got to believe, have that faith, and just don't ever give up. Don't give up. Keep pushing. If you want it bad enough, you can get here.
Right.
You can get here.
Right.
You know?
And that's the thing. When Chris said it, all I think about is how much those young people love God.
Yes.
And how much they was praying, but they still felt a little hopeless. But I just feel like coming from you, you know, because we always been here. So we travel and come back. And then you gave a testimony that they got a chance to hear. So it wasn't just you got here and I'm in America. It's great. You like, man, I'm waiting on my visa to come through. I'm waiting on this. I'm waiting on that, you know, and then eventually you became this today. So all my family down there in Uganda, we still keep trying to build a bridge. Who knows? We might get Chris to come over there. Big Chris might come over there one day.
That. I've heard amazing things about Uganda. I would love to visit, you know,
So let's do this, because we can't let you go. One, I just want to say thank you for letting yours truly and Damali to be on the first episode. I posted that thing yesterday and it just
blew up. It blew up.
Bananas.
Yes.
And if you think that little clip is something, wait till you see the entire. Tell them when you're going to launch it, how they can follow it, what you want them to share, and what you want them to do.
Yeah, so we're launching it Friday, 1 o'clock.
This Friday?
Yeah, this Friday, 1 o'clock, Central Time. Central Time is when I always get confused with the times right there. Right. You can check us out on all the platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and also the business podcast. B-I-Z. B-I-Z. We took business. B-I-Z-N-E-S-S podcast.com. Okay? Right. Check us out there. We have all the information there. And apart from that, hey, it's going to be large and in charge.
Hey, let me do this, Damali. Yes. Hey, we showed that little clip. Now I got this whole list of people that want to be on the business podcast. I'm talking about business leaders. They like, we love that setup. Where's this guy from? I'm like, he's here local.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Like, how can the people that want to be on the BIZ podcast?
Yeah, so this is heating up pretty quick. But, you know, Lord willing, in Jesus' name, we still got some days left in the tank. Yes. You know, so we'll do everything can fit you in. But just, shoot me an email, chris@teammathurin.com. chris@teammathurin.com. TEAMMATHURIN. That's my direct email right there. Right. Shoot me an email. You know, we'll put you on the list, as one may say, and hey, we'll get you sooner or later. We'll get your story out there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What else you got, Damali?
You know what? We are so excited. Thank you, Chris, for coming on and sharing the info. And I am so excited because my clip is out. He just put it out. But check it out. I was on my way to the show, so I did not get to see it. So I'm excited about getting off air so I can see. Yes.
And we're gonna take a picture before he leaves today, and we're gonna post all of the information there so you can follow it, you can click on it, you can share it, you can do all of that fun stuff. We're gonna take a quick break. Coming up, we got them Hump Day Hot Topics. I heard LeBron James did to him last night, but I ain't gonna say nothing. This KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News you can use. Stay locked in. We'll be right back, y'all. Chris, you the man.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947. The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the event center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
Ladies and gentlemen, the all new KBOB 89.9 FM, Black on Black Community Radio.
And now it's time for the Hump Day Hot Topics with Charles and Damali.
Hey, guess what day it is?
Hump Day!
Hump Day! It's Hump Day! Hey, Mike!
It's the Hump Day Hot Topics on News You Can Use.
Mike, it never gets old.
I know that's still my favorite.
I know, right?
We can't even change it, y'all. Y'all gonna Mike. It's gonna be forever.
Yes, well, we've been 3 years and running. 3 years and running.
Guess what day it is?
I love it.
Huh?
Just like that.
Julie,
Anybody?
Hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on. I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Guess what day it is?
I love it. It's Hump Day.
Woo, woo.
It's Hump Day.
When he hit that-
She said so, like she's so reluctant to say it. It's Hump Day.
It's Hump Day. And he hyped. He crunk.
Yeah, whoop, whoop.
Hey, we getting over the hump. Thanks for getting over the hump with us right here at
Yes.
News You Can Use. We're going to jump into these Hump Day Hot Topics.
So I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I had never heard of it. Charles had never heard of it. And so we thought this might be something that our listeners might be very interested in and something that you guys need to look out for. So a heartbroken family is calling for action after their 13-year-old dies from croning.
Croning. Have y'all heard of croning? Y'all all live. It's a bunch of y'all on here. Thanks for tuning in. Croning.
I have never heard of this.
Spell croning on it.
It's croming. CHROMING.
Croning. Y'all get y'all pen and pad out for this.
Yes, this is crazy. And so we always need to be watching out for our babies and making sure that we know what they're doing. And, we're up on the latest, whatever's going on in community and on social media. But anyway, these parents, the parents of a 13-year-old girl who died after inhaling dangerous chemicals from a deodorant can. Are on a mission to make their daughter's life count. Apparently their daughter had went to a friend's house for a sleepover. And then she went into cardiac arrest and sustained irreparable brain damage after taking part in an increasingly popular trend called chroming while at the friend's sleepover. This happened on March 31st. They said the teenager had been chroming, which is a dangerous and growing craze on social media,
right,
particularly among teenagers, where chemicals in aerosol cans are inhaled for a quick high.
Man.
And so it ended up proving for their daughter deadly. And she ended up dying. The parents of at the house where she was spending the night ended up calling the parents and saying, hey, you need to get over here quick. Your daughter is unresponsive. Took her to the hospital. 8 days later, the doctors declared said that her brain was damaged beyond repair.
When you're sitting there sniffing something into your brain like that, back in the day, JB, what
they called it huffing.
Yeah.
And they used to do a spray, what is it? Spray cans,
spray
gas,
paint,
spray paint.
Put it in a bag and
suck it in.
That's not
I never heard of nobody really like dying from that. Sniffing gas I did, but now this is something
straight from the can.
Straight from the can. 2023. This is what the young people are doing, and some are now starting to die from it.
This little girl was in the 8th grade.
8th grade, and she probably thought it was just a little joke. And that's the thing. Sometimes, Damali, what's so scary about letting your kids go stay with anybody. Especially just
what? And that was one of the things that my mom was never into. She was like, your friends are welcome to come over here, but you cannot go over there because we don't know what they're doing over there.
I used to tell my kids, hey, you can't go nowhere. Go upstairs because you're mad at me now, thank me later, because it's my job to get you to 18.
Right.
Anything in an aerosol can, too.
Dangerous.
Hairspray, chemicals, cleaning solutions.
Right, yeah.
You just got to keep that stuff, an eye on it, because if it starts coming up missing, then you know something's going on, especially if you pay for it.
Right.
So this allegedly was the first time that this young lady had ever done anything like
I
this.
never did nothing
very
before.
First time out, she ended up
Cost her her life for the first time. Quick shout out to Rocky tuning in from Dallas.
Hey.
Sean, they're both in the building.
Hey,
y'all,
Sean.
welcome to the show. News you can use. We are into our hump day hot topics. Chroming, something the kids are doing. They're sniffing the deodorant in a can, and one young lady, aerosol, she actually died from it. What we got next on our hump day? That was our first hot topic. What else we got, Damali?
All right, so I don't know if you guys know actor Edward Norton. He actually did. There's a show here in the United States because I'm, our Uganda friends are on, and I don't know if you guys have this show there, but there's a show called Find Your Roots.
Right.
And
that's my favorite show.
Is it?
I love that show.
Yeah. So what they do is they invite celebrities to find out where their roots are, where they come from. And so the presenter is Henry Louis Gates Jr. And so Edward Norton is actually an actor here in the United States, and he's acted in several different movies and been on several different things. But anyway, he finds out that he actually comes from a family who owned slaves.
Okay.
Back in the day, and they're saying that he was visibly shaken by the news, because sometimes he's an activist,
right.
and so he does all this stuff, and so now generations later that would never be in what he would do as an individual. So they say he was visibly shaken by hearing the news that his family actually owned slaves, because that's what he's fighting against. Is this discrimination and all of that. But this is what he said about it, which I thought was really interesting. So they asked him how he felt about it and when he reacted to the news, and he said the short answer is these things are uncomfortable, and you should be uncomfortable with them. Everybody should be uncomfortable with it. It's not a judgment on you or your family,
right?
But it's a judgment on the history of this country.
Yes, it's on the country.
Yeah. It's on the country.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really
deep.
profound.
What you think about that, JB? He said it's not really on his family, it's on the country. What you think? That's deep when you say
it. Just goes to show you, no matter how famous you are, you still got a soul and a heart for things that really matter.
Right.
That's Ed Norton. I think most of the movies he played in kind of scared me.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying.
I didn't really want to go there, but he's speaking on something that's totally good now. So I mean, I haven't seen the show. What's it called?
Find Your Roots.
Find Your Roots. So definitely got to check that out.
You need to check it out. It's actually really a good show.
Didn't they do that with Oprah and Tyler Perry? So I saw that, but I didn't even know that was the name of the show. But I just saw it.
They had another actor that found out
that his family owned
slaves. But he didn't want them to air it.
Oh.
Yeah. So I forgot that actor's name. He didn't want him to air it.
And I'll say this, Lieutenant Sanders, to me, that's what the problem is.
Yeah.
It's because to me, the history is our history.
That's correct.
Period.
Right.
And my only thing with that, we need the younger generation and some older generation to know about our history so it don't repeat itself.
There you go.
And to put in perspective that this race is not lazy, this race is not all prejudice, this race, but just let's say what the history is.
Yeah.
I feel like the United States of America can move forward.
But we always trying to hide stuff.
But when you they had hide that. Well, no, that's why you got $50 million, $100 million in the bank. Let's go and talk about you. This. And if you feel really, really good, write a little check and make it right if you don't mind. Write a little check.
Can I get amen on that one?
Took my grandpa
so check this out. This is the other thing that he found out. Not only did his family own slaves, but he is actually a Pocahontas is actually his 12th generation great grandparent.
Man,
wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
The real Pocahontas.
Yes.
Like that the movie is made about. The Disney movie is made about. Pocahontas is actually a 12th generation.
If I'm not mistaken, the real black Pocahontas, is she a black lady?
She's black.
Yeah, you gotta that's the beauty. That part, part. Stuff can't be so commercialized where you
but you own slaves.
Yes.
You hear this?
There you go.
So check this out. So you got to know your family history. So with that being said, one of the things that I am going to do in
let me touch
family,
this.
Oh, go ahead.
Your sister Teresa said our cousin Anita Hill was on Finding Our Roots. Did you know that?
I did know that.
For
I
real?
did know that.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I did know
want
that.
To get by.
So one of the things that I have committed myself to doing, and I'm working on this with my mom and my sister Teresa, because my sister Teresa is on my father's side, and then my mom and I are working on it on the other side, on her side, is trying to trace my roots. So I actually signed up with African Ancestry and got my results back to find out that my family on my mother's side are descendants of the Takar people who actually live in Cameroon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I'm excited about that because I would like to know the history and where we came from, because a lot of times what happens is, and the reason why we have generational dysfunction is because we don't understand who we are as individuals.
Sanders, do you or JB know where y'all come from? Where y'all people come from? Where your people at?
I just know
Muskogee.
Redbird.
Arkansas.
I just know Redbird.
You just know Redbird. So you just in you were just in Oklahoma.
You're not fit to kill my vibe, man.
Redbird, Macon, you think you?
No,
I mean, when you
JB, you probably from
because you got a little.
You probably from over there.
Don't even do that. Don't even do me. About to cut y'all microphone. They ain't talking about nothing right now.
But
I know a creek.
I want to do that thing. I want to do that too.
I think we should all. I did it. I did mine, and I actually did my maternal and paternal.
Right.
So my dad's side came back.
Right.
So for 500 to 2,000 years, then mine is in Ghana.
Ghana.
It's the
Akon.
These take you back to Africa.
Yes.
No, as soon as I got it, I stayed up to 3 a.m. on YouTube. So as soon as you get where you're going, it's all kind of ways to be connected. But here's the ticket. The Alkan tribe, which is what I'm connected to, they're big in business and trading and dancing.
Right.
By Phi Beta Sigma style. But when you start reading, you start going, man, they hitting it. Business, trading, so it's big.
Right on the head.
So
the nail on the head every time.
The nail on the head. So for 500 to 2,000 years on my dad's side. So my mom is your color.
Right.
So we finna get into some stuff. It's just taking a minute for that one to get back. It's taking a minute for my mama to come back because my grandpa I know it's like Indian and white.
That's where you got that caramel look from.
The caramel comes so now, but see, it's been I done had my dad's stuff back for 3 weeks. My mama's stuff, they like, man, hold on to it.
Wait a minute.
So ain't no telling what that's journey. But I think in my mind, it is critically important because what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get these certificates. I'm gonna sit down with my kids.
I actually have my certificate.
I got that too. I'm gonna get it all together. And I'm gonna give it to them because I mean we go
that
beyond.
Is real?
Yeah.
What is the name of your tribe?
You get a certificate.
So it's the Takar people.
I love people from Cameroon. They're such cool people.
Yeah.
I have friends from Cameroon and get to do a couple parties for them every year, and they're just like they love to have a good time and enjoy each other.
Oh, I thought I was gonna get my result.
people.
Here it is, Sanders. I thought I was gonna get my results back while I was in Uganda. And
that would have been cool.
I wasn't even coming back to the United States. I'm home. Y'all get out here, leave me alone with my people.
Right.
But
it wasn't.
I found you.
It wasn't that region. Yeah.
I'm gonna start looking for my cousins immediately.
Exactly.
But the beauty of going to Africa is you see how close all these things are adjacent to each other. It's an hour here, 2 hours here.
Right.
So when we naming these places, it's like being in the United States with Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma. It's the same.
What did you guys? I haven't had a chance to talk to you about the trip, but just real quick, what did you guys take away from being over there while you were there? I mean, what was the most important part of it to you?
For me, it was a humbling experience. That how the reverence that they had for us as Americans coming over to Uganda to actually help them. And they were just so grateful and so thankful. And they were just, you could tell that they were truly honored and humbled and blessed by it. So much so that I've never been given a live rooster.
Really?
They gave us things, they didn't have money to give us, but they gave us the best of what they had, whether that was bananas or rice or, potatoes or whatever. They came and brought us their best. And I mean, I really started tearing up. I'm not even going to lie to you because that is just amazing.
And Charles, I ain't going to ask you the same question. The best meal that you had over there, what was it?
I can tell you this, what stood out, everything's fresh.
Yes.
So that's what you got to get. So anybody going to Oasis Fresh Market, shout out to AJ at Oasis Fresh Market. There's no Oasis Fresh Market. The Oasis Fresh Market, they go right there where they are.
Top it down,
Here's the chicken, So the chicken you see is the chicken you soon to eat. The fruit is good, man. The veggies, because everything is fresh.
Yes.
And it all tastes good. So it's like it was a natural awakening of your taste buds.
That tea, man.
Did you bring the tea back?
That tea. I did. I brought some tea back, but it don't taste like theirs, man. They hooked me up.
This is the thing that you'll get is you get there and you just feel it. You know, it's the energy. So, and it just so happened it was a queen. That was the first person that I saw, Rachel. And she sometimes jump on. She might be on now.
Wow.
And she was like, welcome home. Welcome to Uganda. And she hugged me. It's like she stuck the matrix in the back of my head.
Wow.
You literally feel like there's something. And whatever that was, it stayed the whole time that you was there. And everything is natural, normal. When you see people dancing, everything that goes on, it's just
like you've been there forever.
Like you've been there forever. And that was my biggest takeaway. And that most people, AfricanAncestry.com, you need that. And you got to make a trip.
This is News You Can Use, the best of, with Charles and Damali. We hope you had a great 4th of July holiday, and the squad will return next Wednesday with a brand new episode. Until then, peace. Right here on KBOB 89.9 and all social media via Facebook Live. Thanks for watching and listening.